The 2016 BMW i8. Is this BMW's idea of the sports car of the future, or is there another technology that's already out there that might be better suited for BMW's purposes? I'm Jay, and welcome to the latest episode of CarBuzz Unboxing Reviews. Before I get started here, I want to thank Nilo BMW in Sacramento, California, which is part of the Nilo company, for letting me come on down and film today. So the BMW i8, it was only launched in the past year or so, and like I mentioned, it is the idea of, in terms of BMW, what a future sports car has to be in terms of technology, performance, and fuel economy. And the moment you sit inside, you can tell this is really futuristic. Now, some of you are going to think, well, is BMW trying to compete with the Porsche 911 or the Audi R8? And no, I don't think so, because those are gasoline engine cars. This, and I'll get to it in a few more minutes, it's different. In fact, and I'm just going to go out and say this, I think this is more of a Tesla Model S fighter. But let's talk about this exterior design, because I think it is really cool. I love that silhouette look, that really nice coupe. It's got a long wheelbase, short overhangs, front and rear. I love that gray metallic paint. And look at this this rear end with those LED taillights, and look at the way they just sort of cut right in there. It's just so cool. And BMW describes this as like its layering design, where lines and surfaces are overlapping. It's got these 20-inch light alloy wheels. These are actually optional light alloys. They cost an extra $2,000. All i8s come with 20-inch wheels, but these are a little special. But look at the door handles there, how they're just hidden right in. They're not even exposed outside. Just imagine the aerodynamic testing they did for this and how the wind just cuts right through it when this thing is at speed. Oh yeah, it's just so cool. I wish you could see it in person, because obviously photos alone don't do it justice. And like I mentioned, this car, it's all about technology. For an example, this roof is made out of carbon fiber. It has UV protection. And even that front V-shaped hood scoop right there. And it's designed to help redirect air over the top of the car to the rear. So everything here is functional, and it looks great. Other design features you're going to notice is, of course, the BMW twin kidney front grille design. That's standard on every BMW. And in all i8s, those twin kidneys are flanked by a couple LED lights, but this car has something even cooler. They're called laser lights. I'll talk to you more about that in a couple of minutes as well, because now I want to show you these scissor doors. Now, McLarens also have these, and McLaren, they call them dihedral doors. BMW prefers to call them scissor doors. They're also known as falcon doors. But BMW, they wanted to make the car look more exotic. But the thing is, with doors like these, they could bump into stuff when they get open. But BMW measured it so for that, the moment you open them, they won't, bump into anything, and you can even park this car in a parking garage without any problem. Alright, so now I want to tell you about these laser lights. They cost an extra $6,300, and they replace the standard LED headlights, and they're new for 2016. And basically, it makes driving at night almost like driving during the day. They're very powerful, and BMW had to get special US government approval to even have them here. And the i8 is the first car in the US to have them, and it probably won't be the last either. All right, so let's step inside this really cool futuristic interior. To me, it almost looks like the Millennium Falcon right out of Star Wars. And that layering design that you saw outside, it continues inside as well. This is all covered in black leather. It's a 2+2, meaning 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. And the rear seats, just like they are on the Porsche 911, they're almost useless. They're very, very tiny. And the moment you step in, you really sit quite low to the ground. But I think that's important for any exotic car. And even the way the sound goes when you first hit that start button, it sounds really neat. And that's what helps make this car special. The i8, it's almost experimental in many ways with its technologies. It has a lightweight aluminum chassis, and then the rest of the body is just made out of carbon fiber. So cutting weight was a major thing that BMW needed to do here. But let's start this engine because I want you to hear it. All right, now before I get to the engine, I want to talk to you about this. This is the latest version of BMW's iDrive. As always, it's controlled by that rotary dial just there, and the dial also has a touchpad on top. This is an 8-inch high-resolution screen. And other features that you're going to get inside is an 11-speaker sound system with HD radio, automatic dual-zone climate control, dynamic cruise control with a braking function, LED ambient lighting. Not only is it high-tech, it's very luxurious. And this is the type of car I really just sort of see Silicon Valley executives driving around, along with Tesla Model S's. How come? Because this is just one big technological display for BMW. They are showing the world what we're capable of doing with cars and what we want to do in the future in terms of performance, interior technologies, driving aids, you name it. All right, so I want to talk to you about that engine. This is where the i8 is really different from most other cars on the road today. It's got actually two engines. There's one in the front and one in the middle of the car rather. So it's kind of considered mid-engine, but the engine up front, it's actually an electric motor, and it's between the two front wheels. It's got 129 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. And the electric motor gets its power from a lithium-ion battery, which is located in the very middle of the car. And then the second motor is a typical gasoline engine. In this case, it's a 1.5-liter three-cylinder turbo engine with a total of 228 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque. So combined with the two power sources, you're going to get 357 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. And because it has that electric motor, the i8 can be powered on electricity alone. And there's three driving modes. You have Max, E mode, Comfort mode, and Sport. And when you're in Sport mode, which is all you have to do is turn this gear lever to the left, and all 4 wheels will be engaged, and that's going to be maximum performance. You're going to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds, and there's an electronically controlled top speed of 155 miles per hour. But in all-electric mode, the i8 has a top speed of 75 miles per hour. So when you have that electric motor, this is considered a plug-in hybrid. You're going to be able to get, with a full tank of gas and a fully charged battery, a range of 330 miles. And then there's going to be a 76 mile per gallon rating when running on electricity alone. And then, like I mentioned, it's a plug-in, and you can plug this car into any 240-volt charging station. It'll take about an hour and a half to get a full battery. But you really don't need to plug the car in. I think it's kind of useless. The gasoline engine will take care of the rest and just regenerate the battery. So how does this car drive compared to like a Porsche 911? Well, it's different because the 911 is just it's more capable of driving on the track. The i8 is not a track car. It is a high performance sports car, but it's just better for grand touring. Same goes with the Audi R8. You know, that is like a mid-engined, almost like daily supercar, and they're all in the same price range here. But the people who are going to buy the BMW i8, like I mentioned, they probably already have a Tesla Model S in the garage. And adding an i8 is just one more piece of technology to their collection. So I want to talk to you about pricing here, because this goes right back to my argument of being a 911 and R8 kind of competitor, but more of a Tesla Model S competitor. The i8 bases at $140,700, and then this car, combined with the light alloy wheels and the laser lights, $150,000 all in. That is very much 911 R8 territory, but it's also Tesla Model S territory. And Tesla has proven that you can have an EV with a lot of power, high performance, with over 300 miles of range. And this car, a lot of power, performance, and over 300 miles of range with the electric motor and the gasoline engine working in conjunction with each other. So this goes back to my initial point with BMW thinking that this is how they believe a future sports car or high-performance sports car is going to have to be. And because of the Tesla Model S, in many ways, I already think the i8's engine construction, or the way they have it set up, is kind of out of date. The components and the materials the i8 is made out of, having the lightweight aluminum, all the carbon fiber, that's going to stick around. But the rumor has it is that the next generation i8, which will probably come out in around 2022 or 2023, it's going to be an EV only. Again, this is only a rumor, but it goes back to my point saying that BMW is going to ditch the hybrid setup, and they're developing EV technology that will give the next i8 around 750 horsepower and a driving range of over 300 miles. That is Tesla territory right there. But in terms of daily drivability, the i8, it's great to drive through traffic on the highway. As you saw, there is decent storage space in the rear. I would prefer using a couple of duffel bags as opposed to a couple of large, solid suitcases. There's not much space. The rear seat space, as I mentioned, it's like a Porsche 911, almost useless for an adult. But for a car that has a 0 to 60 time of 4.2 seconds, and it looks like this, I mean, BMW nailed it, at least design-wise. And it weighs a total of just under 3,300 pounds, and that's quite good. A Mazda Miata, just to compare, is just around 2,200 pounds, and that's a much smaller car, and it doesn't have a lithium-ion battery, which this car has, and those just weigh a ton. Like in the Tesla Model S, The lithium-ion battery for that car is located in the middle, like right in the floor for a lower center of gravity, and BMW has done that, only with a much smaller battery. But the next generation i8, I really think going in EV is the way to go, because Tesla has proven it's possible to get everything BMW wants in an electric car. All right, everybody, I'm out of time for today. Thanks for watching. Any more questions for me, leave them in the comments section below. Any ideas for future cars you'd like me to review, also leave those in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe to the CarBuzz YouTube channel and check out the full review of the 2016 BMW i8 at carbuzz.com. Till then, I'll see you all next time.